How's it going there, everybody? It's Mr. Zen over here bringing us a brand new One Piece chapter discussion. And for today's segment, guys, we are going to be talking about is chapter 852. That just came out today, and personally, guys, it's actually raining outside, and I could just literally hear the raindrops just pouring down my window that's right next, like literally right next to me. And it's giving me that perfect setting, but it's so funny at the same time due to the fact that, you know, that this chapter is so upwarming. And it's, you know, giving us all readers hopes as to what's going to be coming on the next coming chapters. It's kind of hilarious. But, you know, I'm digressing. So, guys, chapter 852, folks. We actually are now looking more towards a better path, a better homecoming, because of the fact that Sanji himself was finally able to talk to Reiju in this chapter. And Reiju was giving her own opinion on the Germa 66 and the whole matter on itself on Whole Cake Island. You know, this chapter was very entertaining nonetheless, but a lot of stuff is still happening. A lot of the train of locomotion of events that are still unfolding slowly within Whole Cake Island itself. And we're still wondering as to what the frickin' heck? Like, Luffy, man, Luffy just loves to be in frickin' danger all the goddamn time. Now, let's take a step back. Take a step back, folks. In this chapter, it first started off, you know, we see, you know, Sanji talking with Reiju, and throughout the whole span of the whole chapter, it really was about Reiju. Reiju herself was the star of this chapter itself, as she's giving her own explanation. Like I said, she's giving her explanation, but she's giving her the reasoning why Sanji needs to live, and she debunked everybody's theories that Sanji's handcuffs, yes, folks, Sanji's handcuffs, they are not explosive. They are really fake. They are fake to the point that what is keeping Sanji at Whole Cake Island now? What is Sanji gonna do now that he knows that the handcuffs are fake? What is Sanji gonna do now that he knows that there's nothing holding him back on Whole Cake Island, that he could literally do whatever he wants? Sanji himself, throughout the whole entire Whole Cake Island chapters, we've been noticing that he's been a diminished character, a broken character. Yet, Reiju is now giving us this small ray of hope as to give us that, you know, Sanji, you have an option now. You have an option to live. Your friends are there for you, that they're trying to rescue you. And amidst of all of this is that it's all going on, you know, freaking Brook trying to steal the Poneglyph, Pedro fighting, I believe it was Tamago. You see freaking Luffy and Jinbei doing their own thing on the side. Like, everything is just going haywire, and yet Sanji is still having a hard time deciding whether he should live or not. It's hilarious at the same time, but then at the same time, you know, it's Oda's way of his story writing telling us that, you know, Sanji's character development is slowly teasing us. And we're mostly, to me, in every single chapter, it seems like we're just learning more about Sanji's past. That's all it really is, what the Vinsmoke family is doing. And to me, it feels like maybe the Vinsmoke family after this chapter, they really will become friends or nakamas towards Luffy's armada. I feel like the Vinsmoke family are going to literally be joining Luffy's armada or the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, because it now seems that Big Mom now is the really main antagonist of the whole entire Whole Cake Island saga. You know, there are One Piece theories out there that are saying that Big Mom is really just testing Luffy's strength, etc., etc. I personally don't really believe that. In a sense, that's because of the fact that, you know, it just seems that, you know, Big Mom really wants the Vinsmoke's family technology, just like as Reiju stated in previous and this on following chapter, that she just wants the gigantification you could say formula. She wants the human DNA formula. Like, she just wants to further her own goals, and for that reason she needs Vinsmoke's technology in order to further her own goals. Now, it kind of makes sense at the same time, but, you know, like I said, I still think Big Mom really is the main antagonist. I mean, she's a Yonko, for Pete's sake, you know, so there's gonna be a point in time where Luffy will have to face her, so why not now, right, folks? So, you know, before I digress any further from Big Mom, you know, she was not a part of this chapter, so it just goes to say that Brook versus Big Mom is still being held right there on the side, because it seems that Oda does not want to actually keep us viewers. You know, he's not giving us the full cake itself. He's slowly teasing us like, okay, Brook, you're gonna fight her, but slowly within each of the chapters. And then we're not gonna give you the full expansion as to how the fight's gonna go on, which it kind of irritates a little bit as myself. Like, I really want to see how that fight's gonna go down. But that's not really what the main overall goal of the whole entire Whole Cake Island arc is. It's literally the Vince Smoke family. Now I'm noticing the Vince Smoke family, they're starting to become really, really relevant now. That it's starting to become that, like, are the other Vince Smoke family members, are they going to change sides too? You know, because in this chapter, Reiju stated that in the flashback that Sanji's mother, I believe, was Sora or Sola, depends on the translation, but it seems that she died due to the fact that because Judge Vince Smoke, he's the one that wanted to create these superhumans. He wanted to start creating his own mass armada in order to take down the whole world itself, but Sora was not actually in cahoots with that kind of plan. It seems more that she wanted to be, you know, she wanted to have regular children. She wanted them to have a regular, normal human lives. And because once the children themselves, Ichi, Niji, and Yonji, they started implementing their supernatural abilities, they started straying away from being human itself. They started becoming, you know, these monsters, these war creatures, these war gods themselves that the Judge Vince Smoke wants them to be. Now, it's funny that Reiju herself is not in that particular manner. Notice that in this chapter, folks. Reiju does not act like that. So, goes on to say that she shows more empathy and more emotions than the other brothers as well, just like Sanji. So maybe she inherited her mother's will as well. Sanji definitely inherited her mother's will. He definitely did, because he literally strayed away from the bunch that he saw compassion, kindness, and loyalty and gratitude for everybody else. But it just goes along to say, what about the other brothers? How are they going to change in the upcoming chapters? How are they going to become very, very prominent characters that are going to help Sanji out? And that reason is, folks, that Reiju might possibly die. I personally think she might possibly die. Either that, her, or Judge Vince Smoke. One of the two. But I feel like Reiju might die because in this chapter, folks, we're looking at this, and Reiju even stated to Sanji herself in the chapter that, no, Sanji, you know, now that you're free, you can leave us alone. I don't personally care what happens to us now. I personally want us to die. I don't even care anymore. I believe she was stating to Sanji that she'd rather have the Vince Smoke family just be done and dealt with because of the fact that the way that they've been treating the other nations and people itself as a whole. And, you know, it just goes on to say that she's having regret of what she's done in her past. So it goes to say that she might, that's like a possible death flag right there. So I personally think Reiju's gonna die. Reiju will possibly freaking die. And that might be the key important figure as to why the Vince Smokes will then change sides to the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. Because then, after Reiju dying, Judge Vince will be like, okay, Luffy, you know, by some mere coincidence, Judge Vince is going to change his mind and say, okay, Big Mom, now I'm going to take you down because you hurt my family. You know, my prized possession, Reiju, right there. And then, of course, Luffy's going to side with Sanji because that's Sanji's sister. So Sanji's going to go attack Big Mom, and it's going to be an all-out war against Big Mom itself. That's what I'm kind of anticipating right there and then. But other than that, it just seems very entertaining. Now, granted, guys, let's talk about what's going on with Jinbei. Jinbei itself in this chapter was very entertaining as he finally saved Luffy from the, you could say, Mount Dior's, you know, Devil Fruit ability. And it was funny because even Luffy stated himself, or I believe it was Jinbei, one of the two, they stated, oh, it's funny how when we first met, that it was kind of the same similar dire situation. And I thought to myself, that's true. When they both met in Impel Down, they were both locked up. But I believe it was Luffy that saved Jinbei. Or it was vice versa. I kind of forgot about how that part went right there. But the point is, it does resemble a little bit of Impel Down right there, as to they were both in jail and they're both trying to escape a certain place. Like, it's funny how Jinbei and them are doing it. So it's Oda's way of retelling the story, saying like, this is how it's properly, Jinbei's gonna join Luffy's crew in the proper way, not at Impel Down, but because Jinbei wants to join, Luffy wants him there by his side, and they both have the same goal towards their meeting in Whole Cake Island. Now it's really gonna become official. And even Jinbei himself is laughing at the matter. Even amidst all this chaos, Jinbei is still laughing with Luffy, saying like, oh, you know, what a funny way of how this life is going about. But, you know, it begs the question with Jinbei. What did Jinbei lose? Did he lose life? Did he fight Big Mom? Did he offer her something else in exchange for life? Did he Did he offer something from Poseidon itself? We don't know that for sure, but one thing's for sure is that if Jinbei did offer up his life, we're still looking at the fact that why or how long will Jinbei live for? That's the thing. If he's going to be joining the Straw Crew, that means that every single second really counts now, and we don't even know as to if he might even die the minute he leaves Whole Cake Island. Like I said, this character might even freaking die, but we don't know because Oda just has a way of sorting that, like, right now he's just giving us small hints as to who really might be dying in this current arc. And even Big Mama stated herself, I believe it was in the last chapter, that's like, you know, that someone is gonna die. I believe someone really is gonna die. And that's the crazy part about One Piece, is that we don't know right now. Don't know. But moving on, folks, you know, in this chapter, then we see, of course, once Luffy escaped out of Jinbei's, you know, escapade, you can kind of say. Right there and then, Luffy runs up to the other corridors, and then from there, Luffy is still trying to get a Sanji, and he chokes. I believe I forgot what the guy. I forgot what the guy's character's name was. He's choking this character, and his arm is ripping. So that might be another important figure. Is Luffy gonna lose an arm? Is he gonna actually go to the point that he's gonna need a medic to help him out, or is he gonna be offered on the table that he's gonna pass out due to exhaustion, and at the dinner table Luffy's gonna be the one on the table saying, like, you know, well, let's dig in to Luffy, but Luffy's gonna be, of course, knocked out, and then etc, etc. Like I said, there's lots of variables that are still coming onto because of this chapter, but Luffy bleeding from the arm just goes on to say that might be important here, because, you know, Luffy's made of rubber, so everything always bounces back, but he's cut right now. That's the thing about Luffy. We've never really seen him cut before to this extreme on both of his arms. Yes, with Crocodile versus Luffy, but that was the final boss. Luffy hasn't even made it to the final boss, and he's already this damaged already. So we don't know as to how he's gonna actually go on about with the later chapters. Like I said, it's entertaining to see how this actual arc is heading towards to. Like, I personally feel like then in the freaking next arc, I think Luffy's gonna be out of commission. If Luffy even escapes out of this arc, Luffy's gonna be out cold because there's nothing for him to do after this, because he's gonna spend all his time and energy just trying to rescue Sanji. Like, my god, man. Like, this chapter is golden. This chapter's freaking golden, folks. But like I said, that's it for today's chapter, folks. Let me know down in the comments below as to what are you guys' thoughts on the chapter itself. What do you guys think of Reiju? Do you guys think Reiju's gonna die? And like I said, my personal opinion, I think she really is gonna die. She is gonna die in a bang. Right there and then. But, oh, and one thing before I leave, folks. One more thing. I'm not too sure if Sanji's mother was Sora from the story that involved with the government versus Sora of the, or Sora, was Sora part of the Marines? If I remember, guys, back then in the first beginning chapters of Whole Cake Island, Sora of the Marines versus you can see the Vince Smokes. That might be a key revelation right there, that it might say that Sora might have been, she might have been the cause as to how that story went about, that the Vince Smokes might have been this horrible facade, that maybe somebody that was working near Sanji's mother kind of gave this news to someone else, and just word spread out. Like I said, it's entertaining how seeing this going, because in the translation, her name it says Sola. It says Sola, but if I remember correctly, the Japanese, when they pronounce their R's, I think it pronounces as L's over here in English terms. So it goes along to say, like, interesting perspective right there. Interesting. But like I said, guys, that's it for today. Like I said, let me know down in the comments below as to what are you guys' thoughts on the chapter itself. Who do you think is gonna die? What do you guys think of Jinbei's actual, you could say, what's his debt that he owed to Big Mom? Did he owe up his life? Did he offer something in exchange? Or did he offer something else that we still aren't aware of? Maybe a body, or maybe ordered a truce to say, like, you know, I can give you the Vince Smokes family technology in order for this truce to be ended. Like I said, there's a lot of variables going about in this chapter. Like I said, though, that's it for today's segment. If you guys enjoy my content, give a like, comment, share, and subscribe for more One Piece anime discussions. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day. But this is Mr. Zen, signing out. you.